The sun had barely risen, yet the heat already clung to the air like a stubborn shadow. Zara walked quickly along the narrow road, her worn sandals slapping softly against the dust. In her hand, she held a small black purse, gripping it like it carried her entire future. Today mattered. Not just a little, everything. Inside that purse was her last transport money. And inside her chest was a silent prayer she had whispered all night. God, please, let this one work. She had an interview. A house job. Not perfect, not glamorous, but it was something. Something that could bring food back into their kitchen. Something that could help her younger brother return to school. Something that could stop her mother from crying at night when she thought no one could hear. Zara walked faster. She couldn't beat it. As she approached the junction, her eyes caught something that slowed her steps, a man sitting by the roadside. Old. Fragile. His back curved like a question mark life had never answered. His clothes were faded beyond color. His lips dry. His eyes, tired. He raised his head slowly. My daughter, please, he said weakly. Do you have anything? I have not eaten since yesterday. Zara froze. Her fingers tightened around her purse. No. Not today. She opened it anyway. One note. Just one. Her transport. Her only chance to reach that interview on time. She swallowed hard and shook her head gently. I'm sorry, sir. This is my transport money. I have somewhere important to be. She turned. 1 step. 2 steps. But her legs didn't feel right. Her chest tightened. Her conscience spoke louder than her fear. She stopped. Closed her eyes. Then turned back. Without another word, she walked to him and placed the money into his trembling hands. Take it, she said softly. I will manage. The old man looked shocked. No, you need this. I'll walk, Zara replied with a small smile. I've walked longer before. The man's eyes filled with tears. People pass me every day, he whispered. But you stopped. Zara nodded slightly. Today, it's my turn to stop. He looked at her deeply, like he was searching her soul. Your kindness will speak for you where your voice cannot, he said slowly. Go, and do not be afraid. Zara felt something shift inside her, a strange peace. She nodded, turned, and began to walk. The road stretched long ahead of her. The sun grew hotter. Her legs began to ache. But her heart felt light. Step by step, she walked, whispering softly, God, please don't let this sacrifice be for nothing. By the time she reached the large gate, her clothes clung to her skin with sweat. Dust lined her feet. Her breathing was uneven. She wiped her face quickly and knocked. The gate opened halfway. A woman stood there, her eyes scanning Zara from head to toe with visible disgust. Yes, she said sharply. Zara straightened herself. Good morning, Ma. I'm here for the house job interview. The woman's lips curled slightly. You, she scoffed. Zara's heart skipped. Yes, Ma. The woman folded her arms. You're late. Zara stepped forward quickly. I'm sorry, Ma, I had to. I don't care, the woman cut in coldly. Look at you. Sweaty. Dusty. You expect to enter my house like this? Zara's voice trembled. Ma, please, if you can just. I said no, the woman snapped. I don't want someone like you here. The gate began to close. Zara's heart sank. Ma, please. But the gate shut completely. Silence. Zara stood there, staring. Her journey. Her sacrifice. Her hope. All gone. A single tear rolled down her cheek as she slowly turned away. The long road waited for her again. But this time, it felt heavier. Much heavier. Zara didn't look back. She couldn't. If she did, she knew the tears she was holding back would fall all at once, and she didn't have the strength to carry both disappointment and the long road ahead. So she walked. Slowly this time. Each step heavier than the last. The same sun that had once felt like a challenge now felt like punishment. Her throat was dry. Her legs weak. But it wasn't the heat that broke her, it was the silence in her heart. That quiet place where hope used to live. She didn't even let me explain, Zara whispered to herself. Her voice sounded small. Almost like it didn't belong to her. As she turned the corner near the old mango tree, she saw him again. The old man. Still sitting there. Still calm. As if time had not moved for him. He lifted his head the moment he saw her. My daughter, you're back already. Zara forced a smile, but it didn't reach her eyes. They didn't take me, she said softly. The man studied her face carefully. What happened? She said I was too dirty, too late, Zara replied, her voice breaking slightly. She didn't even listen. The old man nodded slowly, as if he had expected it. Some people see with their eyes, he said quietly. Very few see with their hearts. Zara looked down at her hands. I really needed that job, she whispered. I know, he said gently. But listen to me. He leaned forward slightly, his voice calm but firm. Not every closed door is a loss. Some are protection. Some are redirection. Zara frowned a little. I don't understand. You will, he said with a faint smile. Kindness never disappears. It only changes direction. Zara sighed. I hope so. The man shook his head slowly. Do not hope, believe. There was something about the way he said it, steady, certain, that made her pause. For a moment, she felt that same strange warmth again. The one she felt when she gave him the money. Go home, he added. Rest your body. Tomorrow we speak differently. Zara nodded slowly. Thank you, sir. Go well, my child. She turned and walked away again, but this time, her steps felt slightly lighter. Not because her situation had changed, but because something inside her had. When Zara reached home, the small wooden door creaked as she pushed it open. The room was quiet. Too quiet. Mama, she called softly. Her mother stirred slightly on the thin mattress, her voice weak. Zara, you're back. Zara rushed to her side and knelt down. Yes, Mama. Her mother struggled to sit up. How did it go? Zara hesitated. Just for a second. Then she smiled gently, even though her heart was still aching. They didn't take me. Her mother's face fell immediately. Oh, my daughter. Zara quickly held her hand. It's okay, Mama. I will find something else. I won't stop trying. Her mother looked at her with tired eyes. You have been trying so hard, sometimes I feel like I'm holding you back. Zara shook her head firmly. No, Mama. Never say that. You are the reason I keep going. A small tear slipped from her mother's eye. God will reward you, she whispered. Zara smiled softly. He will. I believe it. That night, hunger sat quietly in their home. But something else sat there too. Faith. The next morning came with the same sun, but a different energy. Zara tied her scarf, picked up her purse, and stepped out again. No transport. No plan. Just determination. She walked from street to street, asking questions, knocking on gates, offering help anywhere she could. Most people didn't even open their doors. Some did, only to say no. Still, she kept moving. Because stopping was not an option. As she passed a small provision shop, she heard a familiar voice. "My child." She turned quickly. The old man was there again, this time sitting on a wooden stool beside the shop. Zara smiled faintly. "Sir, you're here." He nodded. "And you?" Still searching. "Yes," she said. "I won't give up." "Good," he replied. "That is how doors eventually open." Zara studied him closely this time. "Sir, where do you stay?" He smiled lightly. "Anywhere the night allows." Her heart tightened. "You mean, you don't have a home?" He shrugged gently. "Home is not always a place, my child." Zara swallowed. "Have you eaten today?" The man didn't answer immediately. That silence was enough. Zara stood up quickly. "Wait here. I will bring you food." "No," he said calmly. "You have your own struggles." Zara shook her head. "Please. Let me do this." The man watched her for a moment, then nodded slowly. "All right." Zara smiled. "I'll be back soon." As she turned to leave, the man called her again. "My child." She stopped. "Give me your name." She hesitated, then smiled. "Zara." He nodded. "Go well, Zara." She ran off quickly. But when she returned minutes later, the stool was empty. The shopkeeper looked up and said casually, "They came for him." Zara frowned. "Who?" "A car," the woman replied. "A big one." Zara's heart skipped. "A car, for him?" "Yes," the woman said. "Important-looking people." Zara stood still. Confused. Surprised. Something didn't add up. And for the first time, she began to wonder. Who exactly was that old man? Zara stood there for a long moment, her mind racing. A car. For him. That same old man who looked like he hadn't eaten in days, who sat quietly by the roadside, who spoke like he had nothing. It didn't make sense. "Are you sure it was him?" Zara asked again. The shopkeeper nodded. "Yes now. Same man. They even called him Sir. Zara's brows tightened. "Sir?" "Yes," the woman added. And the young man with them looked very worried. Like he had been searching for him. Zara's heart beat faster. Something wasn't right. But she didn't have time to figure it out. Life was still waiting. Problems were still real. So she adjusted her scarf and continued walking, carrying both confusion and quiet hope. Across town, inside a large compound surrounded by high walls and silence, the old man sat comfortably on a soft chair. Clean. Calm. Different. Very different. A young man stood in front of him, relief written all over his face. "Father, you scared me," he said, running a hand through his hair. "Do you know how long we've been searching?" The old man sighed softly. My mind wandered again. The young man knelt slightly beside him. "You can't keep leaving the house like that. Anything could have happened." "I know," the old man replied quietly. "But something good came out of it today." The young man looked confused. "Good." The old man smiled faintly. "I met someone." The next day, Zara stood in front of another gate. Not as big as the last one. Not as intimidating. But still a chance. She raised her hand and knocked. No answer. She knocked again. Still nothing. She sighed and turned to leave. "Zara." Her body froze. That voice. Calm. Familiar. She turned slowly. And her eyes widened. The old man. Standing there. But this time, He wasn't in worn-out clothes. He looked clean, strong, respected. And beside him stood a young man Zara recognized immediately. The man from the compound. The one she saw the day she was chased away. Zara blinked, confused. "Sir." The young man stepped forward. "You're the one," he said softly. Zara looked between them. I don't understand." The old man smiled gently. "My name is Mr. Lawson," he said. "And this is my son." Zara's breath caught. Her heart dropped and rose at the same time. "The same house," she whispered. "Yes," the young man nodded. "And the same girl my fiancé chased away." Zara lowered her eyes slightly. "I didn't know." Mr. Lawson raised his hand gently. "You were not meant to know." Silence sat between them for a moment. Then he continued. "I tested the word that day, without planning to. And out of everyone who passed me." He looked directly at her. "You were the only one who stopped." Zara's throat tightened. "I almost didn't," she admitted softly. "But you did," he replied. The compound felt different this time. Not cold. Not rejecting. But open. Welcoming. Zara sat quietly in the living room, her hands resting on her lap, her heart beating fast. Everything felt unreal. Jeff sat across from her, still watching her with quiet amazement. "I've been looking for someone I can trust," he said. "Not just someone who can walk, but someone with a good heart." Zara swallowed. "Sir, I will do my best." Mr. Lawson smiled from his seat. "We are not looking for perfection, my child. Just sincerity." Zara nodded slowly. Then Jeff added, "My fiancé won't be part of this decision anymore." Zara looked up slightly. "I ended things," he said calmly. "Some people don't change. And I cannot build a home with someone who has no compassion." Zara said nothing. But inside, she understood. Some doors close. Because they should. "Can you start today?" Jeff asked. Zara hesitated for a second, then smiled. "Yes, sir." Days passed. Then weeks. Zara worked with care, patience, and quiet strength. She treated Mr. Lawson with kindness, feeding him, helping him walk, reminding him gently when his memory failed. And every time he looked at her, there was pride in his eyes. Not because she was perfect, but because she was real. One evening, Jeff called her into the sitting room. Zara stood nervously. "Sir." Jeff smiled slightly. "Relax, Zara. You've done nothing wrong." She nodded slowly. Mr. Lawson cleared his throat. "My child," he said, "you gave your last money to a stranger." Zara looked down. "I didn't think it would matter." He smiled. "That is exactly why it matters." Jeff leaned forward. "We've made a decision," he said. Zara's heart began to race again. "What decision, sir?" Jeff exchanged a glance with his father, then spoke clearly. "You won't just work here." Zara blinked. "You'll live here," he continued. "Your mother will receive proper medical care. And your brother, he will go back to school." Zara froze. Her breath caught. Tears filled her eyes instantly. "Sir." I don't know what to say." Mr. Lawson smiled warmly. "Say nothing. Just continue being who you are." A tear rolled down Zara's cheek. That same girl, who once stood outside a gate, rejected and tired, was now standing inside a home, chosen and valued. That night, as she lay on a soft bed she never imagined she would have, Zara whispered quietly into the darkness, "God, you didn't forget me." And somewhere deep in her heart, she understood something clearly. Kindness is never wasted. Even when it feels unseen. Even when it costs everything. It always finds its way back.